As the saying goes, no long talking.
Back once again. Back.
Where you bring this pink thing for me?
Every time I hear this intro, I have to smile. I never bring this pink thing because I don't post this fridge. Again. I've had it for a while, but decided to bust it tonight because I told him it tastes nice. I can't lie.
Seriously, this is from one of our many events we did. Vern said it tastes nice. Let me try it.
But again, we have different tastes, you know. Yo, we'll be back once again, Puff and Vern, with another episode. But before we get going, we always got instructions. Don't forget to subscribe, like our videos, comment on our videos, turn on notifications so you know when our videos drop. Right?
All right, so we're going to start the episode. What are we talking about today, Vern?
Now, this episode...
Hold on. We didn't bust our drink yet, you know. How you mean? Vern, what? Yeah. Oh, wait. Hinkle, I don't know. Vern said it tastes nice. This is actually we from one of our events. One of our clients turned 40. We DJ'd at the event. This was a celebratory drink that she handed out for people to go home. Vern drank off Twin Marks, both of his. So
drank off both of them.
You want to drink off one of mine? So, all right, let me take a sip. Champagne. Justin, champagne. That's what.
Yeah, sparkly. So this episode is called the What If episode. And the reason why it's called the What If episode is we're going to focus on 4 NBA superstar
talent
who got robbed of their greatness.
I won't say robbed. It just circumstances.
Due to injuries.
They're athletes, so if your body's not functioning 100%, it's hard.
So,
to, do what you need to do.
We had one man who tripped over a line and tore his ACL and was out for a while. Right? We also, the list is it's a good list. Solid list.
And the line he's talking about is a line on the court that you really can't trip over.
Yes. It's a very interesting topic, right? Because I always want to know, if these players didn't get injured, what level would they be at?
Greatness.
Right? Would they be
talking about Jordan?
Kobe? Magic? LeBron level?
Steph Curry?
Right? These names had the potential to be up there in those conversations.
Up there, superstar status, coming into the league, boxing up, man, like they've been in the league for years.
The league come in.
There's not a lot of people that could do that.
Exactly. So let's just jump into it.
Yeah, jump into it. Vern. Right. Let's start off with the first person on the list.
I'm gonna give a rundown. First person on the list.
No rundown. That's the first one, and we'll talk about the first one.
We have 4. You know what? I'm never gonna go no honorable mention and whoever we left out. Forget that. Number 1. Anthony Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway. You remember the commercials?
Little Penny.
Let's face it, people. Anthony Hardaway is the best player in the NBA. And it's becoming very clear that
Bennett, is this couch real leather? Because it's sticking to my leg.
We'll be right back.
Stick man, that is a
Chris Rock.
Oh man,
you remember the movie Blue Streak with Shaq?
There's a reason why this man was getting all of those gigs, because he was destroying man on the court.
Memphis Tigers. Anthony Badman Hardaway.
Badman
Came in the league.
16.9,
second year with Shaq.
He was killing
finals.
If you go back and look at some of his highlights, he has some moves. What was that one when he spun and then stepped back and
Andrew Wiggins did that move. And
nasty.
You don't see, that's the first time other than Penny Hardaway, you don't see that move being done.
Penny was a bad man. Penny was a bad man.
I'm saying it now, right? And then we'll just give you a little bit of his stats.
Penny Hardaway had a knee injury in the 97-98 season, which kind of curtailed his career. But what was he scoring? Like, what was his averages before that?
At that point, his average was going up and up and up. And at that point, he was averaging over 20 a game.
That's dangerous. What, in the third season?
Fourth season.
That's crazy. So when you look at it, this man's coming in the league like first, second, and third season. He was averaging about 20 points a game. Like, that's not a lot of people come into the league and average 20 off the bat. Yeah.
And Shaq to this day swears by Penny Hardaway.
Swears by him. He even in one of his interviews, he said, people talk about Kobe and his greatness, but it took Kobe a few years to get there.
Penny was already there.
Penny Hardaway came into the league at an extreme level.
Yeah.
You know? So you got to look at that in a different way. Like, Penny Hardaway was doing his thing.
Quick story. Because that movie that I told you about, Blue Chip, right? For the Blue Chip recruit, 5-star recruit.
I think you said Blue Streak last time.
Yeah,
but it is Blue Chip.
Blue Chip that he did with Shaq, right? Shaq said he didn't know who he was. And then once he started playing, he's like, yo, who's this guy? Went back to the Orlando GM and said, we have to draft that man.
Oh, serious? That's what happened?
That's what happened. They drafted Weber, and then they traded Weber for Penny. So that's how Weber ended up at Golden State.
That makes sense, because it's hard to put
Penny
Weber and Shaq
together.
Back in them times, they played a lot of on the block.
Listen, I'm going to say right now, if Penny did not get injured, we'll be talking to him in the same light as Magic. What do you think?
He'll be up there with the assist with Magic?
Yes, he would have.
Wow. Vern's coming with some hot takes.
Yes, he would have.
Maybe it's the Champagne.
Oh, maybe.
It might be the Champagne.
It's the Henkel.
And I say Champagne because shout out to Justin Champagne on the Toronto Raptors. If you know, you know. If you don't, you can call it Champagne. But I'm calling it Champagne.
Number 2 on that list.
Number 2
is Mr. Grant Hill.
Dang.
I don't know if you know about Grant Hill.
They probably know, because Grant Hill had a long
Grant
career.
Hill coming out of college, when he got to the NBA,
but he took a step
they
back.
were saying Michael Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Air Jordan? The logo? The
man
logo?
came out
Not
of
the
Duke
NBA logo,
in his first year for Detroit. The ankle injury got him 19.9 in his rookie
these men
year.
are coming out ready. These are superstars ready.
Rookie. And what year did he get injured, Puff?
He got injured in 2000. It was an ankle injury. But he did come back from the injury, but he wasn't on that superstar level. He got he dropped off a bit, and he found his niche in becoming a role player and playing like a specific role, because he played long. He had a long career, but he wasn't on that level. Like he didn't have the team, hop on my back like LeBron and let's go and give me the ball.
Because he was robbed on that. Because if you look at his first 6 years, in his 6th year, right before the injury,
he's about to take another step.
He was averaging 25. Call it 25.8, 26 points a game. And he was giving you everything. Defense, rebounds, assists.
And he was shooting.
Steals,
like he was shooting before the shooting was a big thing in the league.
Crazy. Yeah. Grant Hill would have been a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame. Ding, ding.
Right? I don't know. He may get in the Hall of Fame.
He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame.
He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
The injury, we got robbed of seeing like Grant Hill at the top, like rivaling Jordan at them times, man.
Interesting. But he was crazy. Good. Grant Hill was lethal. That man was dangerous.
Detroit, I would say Detroit got robbed of that one right there.
Oh man, yeah, because he was killing it right then, and then Detroit.
Right, he was bringing Detroit. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they make the playoffs when he was there a couple times?
I can't even remember. I just remember he was the man on the team.
But man, I wish I was able to see like Grant Hill, like a Steph Curry career. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry came off the injury and he's even gotten better. But back in those days, though, because it was back in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or the early 2000s. They didn't have the medical.
They didn't have the stuff in Germany where you could go
Kobe and get
that
get that surgery. Right.
So what else we have on the list?
Next on the list, this is a very extensive list. Like, this is crazy. Brandon Roy.
Oh man, I don't know if you remember Brandon Roy from Portland. Ooh, that man was dangerous.
2 guard?
Yeah, that guy was sick.
Oh my god, with him and Aldridge, if he was still there, I don't think they would have Dame. I don't think they would have had like Odin.
They would have changed their whole trajectory. But they I don't know, like maybe Portland had some bad luck because they lost out on like Jordan. They like.
But the year they lost out on Jordan, I think they already had Clyde Drexler, but they needed a big man, and they got Sam Bowie. And Sam Bowie is supposed to be good, but again, injuries hold him.
Injury.
So that's even another man that he just like Odin, injury hold him. So it looks like injury hold all those big men.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised Dame is still going.
So what was he doing before the injury?
Before the injury, 22 a game.
22
a game.
Barn ready.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Brandon Roy and Kobe would have been in the same team.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
I know I said it, blasphemy. I know. Yeah, come at me.
No, that's a serious hot take.
Come at me.
Well, and then again, like, there's a lot of people, because if they're coming in the league scoring that high, and if you're healthy, you don't have to deal with no issues, that's a possibility. You might be up there.
Brandon Roy played maybe like 6 seasons.
Yeah, man.
The man career average right now is still 18.8.
Wow.
Almost 20 a game.
And the last few years, he had his knee injury. When he got injured, Brandon Roy had a degenerative knee condition in 2011. So that kind of curtailed his career. I think he had maybe a season or half a season after that. He tried to come back.
I think he played with Minnesota. That
but it just like he realized it just won't work.
Right,
it just won't work.
But Brandon Roy
can't play
was
82 game season.
Cold.
Maybe that's what they should give Kawhi that.
Yeah,
because Kawhi
needs
never gonna get fixed.
Right. But the only difference is with the Kawhi with these guys is Kawhi got the chip.
Yeah. Quite got a chip. Maybe that's why they
chip. So yeah, man. And then the final on this list is the youngest on this list, and it hurts my soul because this guy should not have gotten injured. The coach made a mistake and played him too damn long. And who I'm talking about is Derrick Rose. You know Derrick Rose.
Everybody knows
the
Derrick
youngest
Rose.
MVP in
the
NBA.
league.
I want to say history, but
it is history.
History, right?
It is history.
NBA history. Derrick
MVP.
Rose. He's the one that tripped over the line. That's what we're talking about.
And then he mashed up his ACL in 2012.
Right.
Yeah, this guy was dangerous. He was bringing his team to honestly, they're number one team in the East. Like they were really looking like they would get a championship.
That's the year
this
they
guy
lost
was healthy.
That year, the year before they lost to LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's when LeBron went to Miami. But then the next year, that's when he got injured. And the next year,
and that was a year they were like, yo, you watch out, Derrick Rose. Watch out for Derrick Rose. And then he got mashed up.
Thibodeau. You didn't have to keep him in the game.
But Thibodeau was like, he always does that. He plays our players
too much. Right? Because even before the injury, the last year before the injury, Rose was dropping like 22 a game.
Yep.
At 21.
Yeah, but they're playing, almost 40 minutes a game.
Oh, my goodness.
41, 42 minutes a game.
Right. And the game that he got injured, he didn't even need to be in that game.
Yeah, at the end. And it was sad that little explosive dunk tried. But that's the other thing, like, I was reading another book, another book by Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I talked about this last week. And he talked about that he liked to play, like, I think these players nowadays think about this. They play below the rim because they don't want to get injured. The more jumping you have to do, the more explosiveness to there's more stress on your knees.
Yeah.
The game we're watching right now with Lakers, in the overtime, they missed two layups. When the man them should just dunk it. But they're like, let me just save and just lay it in. But like I think it's like, you got to save that to try to have your long season.
Exactly.
And Rose, he was explosive.
Yeah.
When that man jumped, that man looked like he wanted to jump to the moon.
So, Puff, when did Rose get injured?
2012.
2012, right?
He had an ACL injury.
And he came back and he's now, played with Minnesota. Now he's with, New York. The man is still averaging for his career 17.8.
Yeah, he does. Like, and now, like in New York, he plays off the bench.
And he's almost 10 years in the league now.
Yeah, man.
So imagine, could you imagine?
Yeah, Rose was a problem.
Are you saying
problem?
Is it a stress to say that he would have continued that Bulls legacy of winning the Jordan legacy?
I think he would have got it. I think if he didn't get injured, the Bulls would win a championship.
You think he would have got a championship with the Bulls?
Yes.
And his name would have been up there with Michael? You think so?
Yes, I agree. I think so.
He was cold, man. He was cold.
He was dangerous.
He had the most bounce. His bounce was so ridiculous. You remember the dunk he did on Dragic?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The man went up and just waited for Dragic to just bump him and kind of like go down. And like, now I'm the only one up here. And don't get on him. Like, that's just some things that Jordan would have done. I don't know. I can't say a hot take like he would have overtaken Jordan. Because Jordan had 6.
Jordan had 6.
And we don't know if he didn't get injured, if he would be up in them levels.
But that Chicago legacy, though. the way that the man was playing,
I think he would be up there with Jordan because he brought another championship. Because there's nobody else other than Jordan and Pippen and them brought it. But if he was able to bring a championship to Chicago, he'll be on them levels.
And he would have brought
even if it was one. Even one,
Chicago,
yeah,
right?
Because the last time they won was back
96,
then.
97.
Yeah, was back then.
Yeah.
But dang. Yo, Rose was a problem.
You know?
Yeah.
There's other players that we could have touched base on. You know what I mean? Jay Will, if you know Jay Will, you know, good second year.
Jay Will, he just made an idiot decision and go on a motorcycle,
injury,
mash up leg and mash up foot.
Right. Greg Oden,
yeah, I feel bad for him because I think Greg Oden would have been a dominant big man. But interesting, Greg Oden, towards the end of his career, he would probably had a short career because things would have changed.
Yeah.
Because they don't have no big man no more than Cash.
Exactly. Exactly. Because he came in the 2000s, like late 2000s.
Yeah, and
like
those
KD
are
draft, right?
Yeah.
KD came out 2008, 2009. And then the game, look at the game now, right? He wasn't as mobile as some of the bigs nowadays. So he probably would have.
And if you, it's almost like if you, every position has to shoot. If you can't shoot, you drop your stock.
Yeah. So yeah, man, let us know what you think.
Is there anybody who missed out? What do you think? Do you think Rose would have overtaken Jordan's legacy in Chicago?
You think Penny would have been on Magic's level?
You think Grant Hill would have been taking over Magic's
or Jordan?
No, I don't know about Jordan.
I had him on Jordan level. No,
Magic.
I have Penny's Magic.
Yeah, well, Penny been taking over Kobe level. People,
right.
you know, how you mean? Like, yo,
Grant Hill, they're talking the same conversation to Jordan, baby. Grant Hill was same conversation to Jordan. I said it.
Virgin gonna get licked down with lightning. Remember
I said it. I said it once again.
Until next time.
Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Get in a conversation with us.
Vern, it's all right still.
Go on, eh?
Give me pure gas though, but it's all right. All right.
If Grant Hill never got injured, it would have been Jordan. I said it. Come at me in the comments.
Until next time.